There are many ways that generative AI is leading not just to cost savings, but to revenue growth. But there's so many ways for general purpose technology like generative AI to create value to talk about all of these ways. But in this video, I'd like to take a look at a couple of the emerging or the more common paths I'm seeing toward this type of growth. Let's consider the hypothetical example of a surgeon preparing to carry out a surgical operation and then actually carrying out that operation. Without generative AI tools, they may need a long time to do background research to understand the medical procedure and how to carry that out in the context of a specific patient. And then they will go into the operating theater to carry out that surgery. If generative AI, maybe with custom RAG or retrieval augmented generation tools, can help with the research portion of this work, then perhaps the time and effort needed to deeply research the medical procedure could shrink, and then they still need to go in to carry out the surgery after that. So this would be an example of how generative AI could hypothetically help a surgeon or some other job role where you need to do some research and then go and carry out a task, with this diagram illustrating how the workflow or the effort needed might change. Let's look at the second example. A lawyer reviewing a complex legal document might, without generative AI, first have to gather information from the client. So sit down with the client to really understand what's the purpose of this contract, who are the people signing it, what are the key business terms. And then they might review the documents and then finally sit down with the client to give them feedback. With generative AI, maybe gathering information takes just about as much effort as before, but if generative AI can help read over the document, perhaps this step can become shorter, but then maybe the lawyer still needs to sit down with the client to give them detailed feedback. Again, this is a hypothetical example based on what I'm seeing companies do, but the details of your workflow may be different. In contrast, this is what changes the workflow might look like for reviewing simple as opposed to complex legal documents. For comparatively simple legal documents, say a typical non-disclosure agreement or NDA, there may not be much information to gather, and so the lawyer could just review it and then give the client feedback. Now, with generative AI, maybe the review of the document can become much faster. And if we use generative AI to create a document to summarize the issues that the lawyer can send to the client and discuss with them more efficiently, then the process of giving client feedback can also become maybe more efficient. What I'm seeing is that companies might explore building a system like this, but after having built such a system, might decide to further change the workflow, where after the reviewing a document, may decide to add an extra fast human verification step in the middle, just to double check that what the generative AI said about the document is comprehensive and correct, before then having generative AI and the lawyer together try to go to that last step of giving a client feedback. And so this type of re-engineering of workflow is quite common once both generative AI or other AI tools are inserted into a system, because when one task is automated or augmented, it often makes sense to rethink what are the other tasks that need to be done together in order to deliver a valuable work product, such as a surgical operation or a review of a legal document. Let's look at the third example where the redesign of the workflow can become even more sophisticated. If a marketer has to write copy for a website, that often is very time consuming and requires a lot of thought. And then after that, they might push the new website copy to the website. And that's how a marketer might market a new product. But with generative AI tools, let's say that the marketer finds a way to significantly accelerate and make more efficient the writing of the website copy. And once writing the website copy is so efficient, it may be worth also investing in better processes of software to make pushing to the website more efficient. And we could end here. If we do this, then we just have a marketer that's able to do their work much more efficiently than before. But now that we're able to write copy and push the website much more efficiently, here's how we could rethink the workflow, which is when a marketer wants to market a new product, they could write some copy, push to the website, but then maybe write a different variation on the copy and push that second version to the website so they can start to launch an A/B test where you can now have two different versions of a website copy and start to measure which one works better. And in fact, rather than just testing two versions, if we are so efficient at writing copy and pushing copy to the website, maybe we can now generate four different versions. So it's not testing two, but now four versions. And after collecting data from how all four versions of the website copy perform, we might end up sitting down and actually spending quite a long time analyzing the campaign performance to see which website copy works the best. And then based on that understanding, go back to further improve the website copy, maybe by improving the prompts that we use to generate that copy. And so in this example, even though it seems like generative AI can be used just for cost savings to help the marketer be much more efficient in the process of writing and pushing copy, we can also take advantage of this efficiency in a totally different way and write and push and test many more versions of the website copy. And this leads to other changes as well to the workflow of the marketer, so that this way, hopefully, the marketer can deliver much more compelling marketing campaigns. Now, in this video, we've seen a few ways that generative AI can not just save costs, but lead to significant growth through new types of service offerings or products. In addition to searching for growth opportunities by looking at tasks done by the employees of a company, there's one other framework for analysis that I found useful that frankly isn't done as much today, but may be worth considering for your work, which is rather than analyzing employees' tasks, consider also analyzing the tasks of your customers. So, for example, let's say you offer a product or a service that helps your customers to build websites. Then I would urge you to consider listing out what are the tasks that your customers have to do. Not the tasks your employees have to do, but the tasks your customers have to do. In this case, maybe your customers have to first select a template for the website to get the initial design. Then they have to write a title for the website, then select images, write the copy for the homepage, and then optimize the copy for search engine optimization to make it easy to find via search engines, and maybe other tasks as well. And if you were to analyze the generative AI potential for your customers' tasks, then you may also identify opportunities, in this case, writing the title and SEO, search engine optimization, as places where generative AI could help your customers. And I found that this framework for analysis and brainstorming can sometimes lead companies to build very different product or services to deliver to the customers. And this can be another recipe for getting lots of happy customers and therefore pursuing growth for your business. So there are many ways that generative AI is creating value and can lead to growth. In terms of brainstorming frameworks, I found that looking at how you can automate or augment tasks by employees or automate or augment tasks by your customers to be useful ways to approach thinking about how to create that value. But if you have some other idea that isn't arrived at by some of these brainstorming frameworks, that's great too, and I hope you explore building those too. Now, after coming up with an idea for how to use generative AI in your business, some probably could be done via a web user interface, but some may require building a custom software application. In the next video, we'll take a look at common team structures and some best practices for building generative AI software applications. The good news, which I alluded to in the first week as well, is that it may take less resources than you might think because generative AI allows for very efficient building of AI applications compared to some earlier ways of AI technology. But let's go take a look at that in the next video.